Okay.
So you can see us as live now. Okay.
Okay, not yet.
Okay, I just need to know if you can hear me. If you can hear me, 90% of it, because we do have a presentation tonight. Let me ask. Hi, Paint Kisses. Let me see here. Whoops. Okay. Okay, can you hear me? If you can hear me, I'm going to go on. What we're doing tonight, presentation. Yeah, that's what's happening to me. You're going to have to, can you tell me, get me the phone so I can tell Justin to, at least, can you hear me? Can anybody hear me? Excuse me. Don't worry, because our camera's off of our own. What the heck? Oh. Hi, Louisiana Steve. Can you hear me? I have a beautiful screen presentation. If you can hear me, I need to know. Okay. Whoa, just went to live. Okay. Escape. Okay, we're going to go on. Okay, so I've been saying, what kind of bees? What kind of bees? What kind of bees? So, right there. So you're not going to want this on, Mark. Okay. Okay. So can you hear me? For those of you who may or may not know, can anybody hear me? And honeybees. There we go. Those of you who may or may not know, I am a teacher. I was a teacher. I went to Andy's backyard and shop. Good. So I am. It came to me that, you know, I'm just going to use some of that knowledge during these months when there's nothing else we can do up here and have these presentations so that you all will have something to go back to, especially those to beekeeping. Okay, what you're going to be looking for is this. Okay. Right now, we're buffering on everything. So up that so I can see what I'm doing. Okay. We're doing just fine. We're freezing, but we're doing fine. So what I'm doing here is I'm manipulating the screen. New computer. And I'm still trying to figure it out. So I'll start in a second as soon as I text my son. As soon as somebody here gets, you have too many tabs. Can you get my fire? Never mind, I'll get it. Let's see. Not that. Just a second.
This. This.
Yeah, that'll work. Okay. What I'm with, hi, Susan. Yeah. Okay. What I'm waiting to see here is our presentation up on the screen. It's disconnected. Now it's connected. Now I got to hit start. Okay. As soon as the first screen gets up, we'll start. Okay. Hi, Tiffany Go Blue. And for those, volume back feed. That's interesting. Okay. 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 We're going to start as soon as I see somebody. I'm screen sharing. That's what it says. It's on the screen. Okay, so you can see the reasons why which honeybee you choose matters. Okay, here we go. If you don't have paper and pen or paper and pencil, do not worry. I'm going to leave this up, okay, for all of you. So you'll be able to know what's going on. All right, let's start with reasons why which honeybee you choose matters. The production of honey. I know a lot of people are, oh, we've got to have honey. We've got to have honey. So what kind of honeybee you choose, one thing you may want to consider is how much honey do you want, okay? The next one is the ability to cope with cold weather. All righty. Now, for us, that's a biggie right here. It's freezing here. And Susan, thank you so much for being here. But the ability to cope with cold weather. So, folks, if you're where it's 0, which is probably the country now, that's something you're going to want to consider. Even though you're going to want all that honey, you got to think about that. Number 3, whether they are docile. I really don't care because I have a leaf blower and I have a smoker. What are you laughing at, honey? My honey's over here laughing. Okay. Yes, it is. Okay. So that doesn't really matter to me. All right. But for some of you that have a fear of bees and are just getting used to bees, you may want the docile ones. Okay. Just a second. I have to get something. Oops. Uh-oh. Okay. Oh, I could have had you just continue on, dear. Next is going to be, whoops, their likelihood to swarm. When you see as we go on, yes, the leaf blower. It's in a video that I have. Okay, the likelihood to swarm. Some bees swarm more than others. Okay, that's something you're going to need to know. All right, next, tendency to raise brood late in the year, thus requiring more honey reserves for the winter. Knowing when your bees are going to lay their brood is very important. Okay, now I just lost my streak, so I don't know. That's a very important thing. Oopsie daisy. Next, requiring more honey. Okay, suitability to the local environment. What is your local environment? And what does that mean for you? Okay, if your local environment is in the South and it's usually very warm, fine, you're good to go. If your local environment is like us up here, then, you have to think about that when you're getting your bees. Next, resistance to diseases. How savvy, knowledgeable are you with these diseases? Recognizing them. Are you going to put up with them? Are you going to protect against them? I mean, is this something you really want to do? Finally, production of propolis. Propolis is very valuable. I personally don't care about it that much. Sorry. But it's used for medicine. I don't know how. And hi, Pickeret. Oh, you're going to love this, Pickeret. I don't know how, but it is. One downside of propolis, I will tell new beekeepers, is propolis is that stuff that's going to be gluing your hives together, gluing your frames together, okay? So you're going to have your frames in there, and your little bees are going to go to work, and they're going to seal up every conceivable spot, okay? And if they've got it all sealed up, well, you're going to have a problem, okay? It depends on how hard you want to work to get the frames apart. So we're going to go through, I think there's 6 or 7. I'm not sure how many bees, but remember, I'm going to leave this up. You can come back, take better notes, but this is the best way to do it. And I'm going to be educating you. You'll see me next time, maybe this time if I can get the camera working. Everyone's favorite, Italian. Everyone loves Italian bees. Why? I don't know. Everyone loves Italian bees. That's your Italian bee. Worker Italian bees. This is how you're going to recognize them, folks. Worker Italian bees are light in color, while the queen is just a bit darker. Okay? That makes her easier to locate. Worker bees also have alternating stripes on their abdomen. Okay, so here you go. That's the top, but I don't have the abdomen here. So that's how you're going to recognize those worker bees of Italians. Where do Italian bees come from? They're originally from the Apennine? Close enough. Apennine Peninsula in Italy. Italian bees were introduced to America in 1859 and quickly replaced the original black or German bees brought over by the first colonists. I did not know that the first colonists brought bees. Very interesting. Okay. Are those German bees still around? Who knows? Anybody out there know if those German black bees are still around? Let me know. What Italian bees are like? This is temperament. What are they like? Italian bees are the most popular bees to order in North America. Okay? They are known for being gentle and good honey producers. They are typically reared in the South and have difficulty in colder climates, as they need to consume extra food to compensate for not forming a tight cluster the way other honeybee types do. Now, if you're in the North and people say, oh, get Italian bees, they're so nice and sweet, you're going to get a ton of honey and they're so sweet to work with, you know these bees have trouble with cold. They're not going to make a cluster as tight as other bees. So to get through the winter, you're going to have to help these bees. Okay, this is why I said you really have to keep in mind where you're living. Okay, next. Okay, Italian bees are strong foragers and do a great job keeping their hive clean. That's nice to know, I guess. You know, you down there? Yeah. Okay, going down just a tad. On the downside, all bees have a downside. Italian bees tend to swarm, and their sense of direction isn't as strong as other bees. So they may drift from one colony to another and frequently rob. Okay, swarming is when your swarm takes off. I mean, your bees take off. They get the queen, they walk her a long time, and they, oh, by the way, Mr. B Man is looking for questions in the chat. You will have to put them in all caps or make them distinct, okay? I'm just looking at the screen here. Okay, so I can make comments. So they're going to take off on you. They're going to be the ones to swarm the most. Drifting. What drifting is, for some of you who may not know, if you have like 3 or 4 hives set up, they can be apart, you know, by a couple hundred feet, but it means when they come in, they're going to go to the wrong hive because they don't have a sense of direction. See there? Isn't as strong. So they don't know where they're going, poor little thing. Ice, they're sweet, they're going to produce honey. They may die in the winter unless you really know what you're doing. They may take off and go to another hive. And if they have varroa mites or small hive beetles, that's going to spread them between your hives. Okay. They are considered a good choice for new beekeepers because they are cold. I don't know why I have cold. They're not cold, they're kind. Let me change that. I'll change that later. They're not cold. Let me change that right now. They're kind. They're gentle and produce a lot of honey. Okay, gentle, G-E-N-T-L-E. G-E-N-T-L-E. They are gentle. Hey, you want to do something about this, Mr. B?
No,
what?
No. Kelly says that they need a GPS.
They need a GPS. Yes, they do. They don't know where they're going. So you have to take the good with the bad. And if you're living up here, like right now, oh my God, I'm not going to do that. But I will clean that up before, I'll have that all in line. Okay, so those are your Italians. Russian. When I looked these up, I went in the living room. I says, oh, honey, I'm getting me some Russian bees. Okay. Russian honeybees. Russian bees are dark brown to black in color. That might be what a lot of people up here are saying. They have black bees. Black bees. Ooh, we got the black bees this year. Just-in-time prepping. Oh, boy. Yeah, you're right. School time, just-in-time prepping. Okay. All right. So we know they're Russian. We know they're dark brown to black in color. And the yellow part of their tummy is lighter. Okay. Russian bees originated in the Primorsky region, which is the home of Varroa and tracheal mites. Because of this, they have a natural tolerance to these hive pests. Tolerance means it doesn't bother them too much. Because right below it says, due to this tolerance, the United States Department of Agriculture brought them to the U.S. in June 1997 in order to breed tolerance of mites into the U.S. bee stock. They went on sale in 2000. Might be something to think about. Okay, so we know that they're more tolerant to tracheal mites and Varroa mites. What are Russian bees like? Russian bees are highly resistant to mites and accustomed to cold climates. My kind of bee. Resistant to those mites and accustomed to cold climates. As such, they overwinter well. Unfortunately, here's the downside, folks. They also tend to swarm. So it is important for the beekeeper to provide extra space in the hive to prevent unwanted swarming. You're going to go the way of Russian bees. I suggest you keep some supers up there. Always let them see what's, there's room. Keep the middle of the supers empty. Bees go up, not out. So if you have a 10-frame super and you have on one end, you've got 2 or 3 empty frames, and on the other end, you've got 2 or 3, but the middle are all full, the bees will look up, they will see no space, and they will leave. Trust me. That's been my experience, and I hear that from the old-time beekeepers. Okay, Russian bees are highly sensitive to the amount of nearby foraging resources available. They will regulate the production of brood in times of dearth, which may be beneficial in climates where the amount of food available is heavily dependent upon seasons. For those of you who don't know, a dearth is when there's very little out there for the bees to eat. Okay, beekeepers say, "Oh, it's a dearth. It's a dearth." So you're not going to get a lot of activity. Some bees, as you will see, they just keep laying the same amount of eggs. And when that happens, the nurse bees have to have something in order to feed the brood. So, yeah, you need a suit to go near them. Yes, they are, Pickerick. They are blacker in color. Well, yeah, you need a suit to go near any bee. Of course, I don't know. There's some people in here that don't. But that's a good thing, because a lot of times when we've been down there, this summer especially, you see bees and they're eating their honey. Okay, they have honey, and what you'll see is honey. You'll see a cell with honey and then an empty cell, a cell with honey and empty. That's because these bees are, how can I say? Those bees are just laying eggs. They don't care if you're in a dearth or not. Their attitude is, we're laying eggs. Figure it out. Okay? All right. They do well in cold climates. Oh, going back up here, though, I skipped a paragraph. Forgive me. Russian bees tend to be slightly more aggressive. This kind of addressed what Picker had said. Although this doesn't always mean stinging. This is good for the ladies. They've been observed engaging in headbutting rather than stinging potential threats and guard their hive vigilantly, making them less likely to be robbed. I would love to watch that. They butt heads. We can go out there and watch them butt heads. Okay. Oh, feeder. Heidi M. Wonder where she is.
They butt whoever's approaching the hive. Not
oh, they butt. Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. B-Man says they butt whoever's approaching the hive.
It's a warning.
How are they going to do it to us? Well, they just
come up and tap you on your
to tell us to get away?
Yeah, that means it's a warning.
To get away.
Yeah. After that, they sting. That's the idea.
That's not going to work for beekeepers. We can't just leave. You want to you have a question?
I have a question here.
Okay, he's going to answer a question. Arizona. Okay, Heidi.
Just in time, what type of bees make the darker honey? My understanding is the lightness or darkness of honey is based on the nectar that the honey is coming from. Typically, honey from spring and summer is lighter. Honey made from whatever's flowering in late summer to fall tends to be darker pretty much across the board. Mm-hmm. That's what we've seen here, and other beekeepers, it's pretty consistent here. The darker honey comes later in the year. Mm-hmm. It's all based on where they're bringing the nectar from, because the honey is nectar with the manipulated a little and the moisture reduced significantly.
Correcto. Very good. That is true, because I've got some honey from one of our beekeepers in our club, and they it was, I got some in the spring, well, the summer really, at a bee event, and it was light. And then I got some in the fall from the same person, and it was dark. So that's pretty much how that goes. It just gets darker in the fall. Okay, moving on. They do well in cold climates. That's a plug. So if you get Russians and they come and they butt your head, that's your warning. Get the smoker or leaf blower. Well, braid spray, something, I don't know. Carniolan honeybees. I rarely have seen these.
No, it's fine.
I said it wrong. How do you say that?
No. You're fine.
Well, I have these.
It's fine.
Y'all know what I'm talking about? It's right there. Okay. Carniolan honeybees. These honeybees are considered a subset. Okay, that, you know what that is, folks? That means they're a subset. That means they're kind of like
subspecies.
Yeah. Like a poodle and a dachshund are subsets of dogs. That was not right.
No, like there's 10 different kinds of beagles.
Yeah, 10 different types of beagles, right. But they're all beagles. Right. That's it. Okay, got it. Okay. These honeybees are considered a subset of Italian bees and have a more yellow coloring. They are more gentle. So some of you are going, oh, wow, that's even better than Italian bees. They're a tad more likely to rob. They are easy to spot because of their bright yellow color and have no stripes. Okay. One thing about the robbing that comes to me is a lot of times when these bees go to other hives to rob, do the other bees kill them? The other guard bees, do they identify who they are?
Yes.
Yeah, so they're going to get...
If they can, they will repel them or kill them, but sometimes they can get past. Yeah, sometimes. If they're robbing in force, they can overwhelm the guards.
Oh, that's not
And
good.
The hive can be destroyed.
Whoa, that's not good. Okay, but anyway, you don't want bees that are drifting like the ones above. Okay, where do they come from? No one knows. I think, okay. Or agrees why Carniolan bees split from Italian bees. They just morphed off one day. They just went to something else. They are more gentler than Italians, but usually act wilder. They were the rowdy ones, so they left. They do well in warmer temperatures. So those of you all in the north that have those wood stoves, you know, you may be looking for a gentle bee, but like I say out there in the bee yard, have confidence in your bee suit, because you know you may have a nice, wonderful gentle bee in the summer that's gonna not make it over the winter. Okay, I'm just, you know, I'm not yelling, I'm not telling you what to do. It's just, you know. Okay. Not much about them because they're basically Italians that are just kinder, but probably die off quicker than Italians in the winter. Caucasian honeybees? You have a question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, not harming the bees. Yeah, I don't know.
Where are the wasps, Heidi? Depends on where the wasps are. Like those paper wasps. You know, somebody had a real brilliant idea. I think it was Hope's Homestead. Maybe she did or didn't. They had those fake wasp nests that look kind of brown, and you would put those up, and they would keep you. The other wasp wouldn't come near there. I don't know. Yeah. I honestly don't know. We don't have that problem because our bees are back a little ways, and our wasp, we had trouble with wasp up here last year. Or were they wasp? Yeah.
Hornets.
Hornets. Ugh, yeah.
And yellow jackets.
And yellow jackets. And in fact, I mean, you should see the size of one that's in the tree. It's awful. But anyway, Caucasian honeybees, silver gray to dark brown in color. You may want to come back to this video. As you get your swarms, you'll be able to take a bee or two out, get a magnifying glass, and see what do you have. You know, it's good to know what you have. All right, because just because you're in one area of the country, don't think that you can't have a bee that does better in another area, because people in this country are buying bees from all over. Ours have come from Louisiana and the South and everywhere. So bees are shipped all over. I put up a hornet catcher. The bees got. Okay, are they honeybees, Heidi? Heidi's upset. Okay. These bees tolerate cold very well because they come from high valleys of the central Caucasus region. Do not ask me where that is. This area is between the Black and Caspian Seas. Russia. Do not ask me. Oh, Russia?
Yeah, near Russia. Okay,
that's why they do be well with the cold. I've never seen them for sale in this area. I've never seen them for sale anywhere. I've only seen Carniolan and Italian. I'll be honest. Anybody see anything else? Let me know. Because we have to venture out, folks. Okay, so what are Caucasian bees like? Caucasian bees are known for producing a lot of propolis. Okay, those of you all that want to get into propolis and sell it for medical, get from here, from these bees. However, keep in mind that propolis is going to be sealing everything together in your hive. So when you go to open your hive and get those frames out, you're going to have a struggle. Right there? Right. When we get, do we have propolis? We can show them some 1 week. I don't know if we have any here. We might have some saved up.
Not inside.
Not inside, outside. Okay. We don't keep a lot of our bee stuff inside. Okay. They stop producing their brood in the fall and tend to get through the winter very well. Well, that makes sense. They stop laying in the fall. Not all bees do that. Okay, so that means when you're packing them away, feeding the nurse bees is something you don't have to worry about. Okay? Also, because they can handle cold weather, well, they can go out to forage and cool. That's supposed to be cooler. C-O-O-O-L-L, cooler days than other bees. We live. Go outside, it's summer. Yeah. Okay. So, you know, on some days when some bees can't go out there, and you can interject anytime, okay? I'm just reading. You know, these bees will be out there. They have shown some resistance to European foul brood. That's a disease that if you find it, in your hives. Up here, what they're doing is just burning the whole hives.
No,
No, they're not burning the hives anymore, folks. They were,
no, that's
but
American
they're not.
foul brood. They burn.
Oh, that's American foul brood.
European,
they burn.
They don't.
European, they don't. I personally don't know what European foul brood is. I'll jot that down.
I just know you don't burn the hive.
Okay.
I don't know what the solution is.
We'll get on those foul broods for you next week, okay? Because those are two that you're going to want to keep track of. Very rare in this area, but you never know. They usually will not swarm. My kind of bee. I'll deal with the propolis if they don't swarm. Because they make a lot of propolis, they usually make a lot of comb and may conserve their honey more than other breeds. They have been found to be susceptible to nosema. Okay, forget all that other stuff. Nosema. Nosema, the symptoms are usually in the spring after bad weather. Well, or in the spring after, or usually in the spring after bad weather, or when hives are first inspected. Okay, that's when you're going to see it. And the females are most affected, which means your worker bees. Because remember, all worker bees are females. Queen bees are rarely affected. Okay, the most obvious site is dysentery. Yellow stripes on outside of the hive and inside of heavily infestation. When you see your cleansing flights, those are those little drops outside your hive, and we'll show you those. They're black or brown, dark brown, black. If they're yellow, they have, what is that? You know, they're bowels like us. They're
like diarrhea.
Yeah, like diarrhea.
With dysentery is
Some bees may be unable to fly due to disjointed wings. How can you tell for sure? I actually did this at a bee class, at a bee school. You have to get one of the dead bees. You have to put it under a microscope, and you have to dissect it. And you're going to see it. The little mites and infestation is going to be in the trachea. And you go to the trachea, and you'll see it there. You know, so it was fascinating to see it. But we have not had any nosema yet. However, I wouldn't want to have that. That's not a good one. Carniolan. Okay, for those of you who may not know, these are right up there with Italian. This is all I ever see anybody selling, Carniolan or Italian. Okay. These bees are dark with brown spots and sometimes bands on their tummy. Even though they are a little bit smaller than other bees, they're slightly smaller than other race of bees. That's redundant, folks. But this does not affect any of their bee activities when compared to others. So, let's see, how can I clean this up? Here we go. Even though they are a little bit smaller than other bees, this does not affect any of their bee activities when compared to others. So they're rolling right along, even at this point. Oh, they have, whoops. That must be the queen.
Yes.
See that marking there, folks? Every year, there's a different color. I'm going to keep doing this. Blue, red, yellow. There's a color for the queen every year. This was the blue year. And they usually will mark it with, bye, Pia. Thanks for stopping by. Different folks, and I'm not ignoring you. So if you're coming, I appreciate it when you're here, and when you leave, goodbye and Happy New Year. Where do Carniolan bees come from? These bees come from the Alps in Australia, Yugoslavia, and the Danube Valley regions. They are across most of Eastern Europe, including Hungary, Croatia, and Bosnia-Herzegovina.
Yeah.
Oh my, very interesting. Okay, what are Carniolan bees like? Oh, these bees are very, very gentle and easy to work with. More gentle than Italian. So when you all see me down there in the bee yard, these bees are going all over the place. Keep that in mind. We have primarily Carniolan, Italian.
Yeah, a lot of hybrids.
And a lot of hybrids. because we may have Carniolan hive and we'll get an Italian queen. And we bring her in and then we have a hybrid. Because of their origin, they may forage on cold, wet days when other bees do not. They are one of the best bees for overwintering. Ugh. They create very little propolis and they lay a lot of brood in the spring. They seem to handle dearths easily, times when there is little out there for the bees. Times when there is little out there for the bees. Yep, got it, to feed on. I didn't spell check this, folks. Okay, to feed on, but this is fun. And during this time, lay fewer eggs. That's very smart. As you recall, there was another bee, I think it was the Russians, not sure, that did the same thing.
Yes.
They know it's a dearth. Not a lot to do here, you know. There's a dearth, so we're not going to lay a lot of brood. Okay. Also, they can go out and forage when other bees don't. Because they are because they are kind of likely to swarm, it is important to be sure to give them plenty of room in their hives. They have demonstrated the ability to fight off parasites. That's a plus, but that's kind of like, you know, this one has a lot of give and takes here. You know, they're going to go out, cold, wet days. They're going to get through the winter, maybe. You're not going to have a lot of propolis, so it's going to be easy to get your frames out. You're going to have a lot of brood, which is good to build up your hive, especially if you're starting. If there's a dearth, they handle it easy. I would still feed them. I always feed. And, but they're going to swarm. So if you know to just give them, a lot of space, they'll be okay. For new beekeepers, they are a good choice. For new beekeepers, they are a good choice for beekeepers who are primarily interested in helping the bees. They are as a good choice for beekeepers in the cold. Okay. They are. Yes. Okay. As I was reading through this, it said that they're a good choice who are interested in the bees because, where is it up here? They do not make an exceptional amount of honey unless I'm mistaken. It doesn't mention that. Yeah, they're just going to be nice, gentle bees. You see anything in there about honey? Yeah, that's the thing. They're not going to be one of your best honeybees.
I don't see honey.
Yeah, because they're not. I recall that from the article. They are a good choice for beekeepers in the cold climates. Yeah. For some reason, we have those. They're not impressing me. Buckfast honeybees. I've yet to see one of these. Aren't they pretty?
Yeah, they're fallen into, they're not that popular.
They're not that popular. Let's see what, oh, but they're gorgeous. These bees are yellow to brown in color and look like most folks would think a honeybee is supposed to look like. That means when the kids in school draw a honeybee, this is what they're probably drawing. They have the honeybee look. Okay. Where do Buckfast bees come from? These bees are a hybrid. Oh my. A man named Adam Buckfast, a brother at the Buckfast. Whoops, let me go back. F-A, hope that's an A. Yeah. Abbey in southwest England. These bees were brought to the United States through Canada and can now be purchased in the U.S. Let's see why nobody knows about them. What are they like? Buckfast bees. These honeybees are resistant to tracheal mites. They also do well in cool climates, not frigid cold, cool. Folks, cool, okay? They are fantastic honey producers. That's why. Oh. They have a very low tendency to swarm because their heritage is used to winters that are cool and wet. They build up their hives fast in the spring. My kind of bees, Mark. Anybody out there got Buckfast? My neighbor brought these Buckfast bees. That
is correct. The brother went all over the world searching for bees to create the right hybrid mix, and part of the genetic makeup of a Buckfast is an African bee.
What?
Yeah, he went up. There's actually a movie on it. It might be YouTube that shows him going up into a mountains in Africa, and bees. He went all over pulling genetics from the best bees everywhere, but just not that popular here now.
Very interesting. Okay. I did not know that, and it didn't mention that. I'll have to dig further into that. That is. So what happened? Somebody said that. I saw that. What happened with it? Well, what happened with the Buckfast bees, Rick Pickerick?
Is people are finding them hard to work with now.
Really?
Yeah.
New beekeepers who live in damp, Buckfa, I got it right, damp, cold climates may want to consider Buckfast bees. They will also get a fair amount of honey.
Yeah, Pickerick. They were aggressive and mean. That's what people are saying. That's why they don't want them now. Most people are steering away from them.
Now, see, it never doesn't say that.
I know.
Oh, here we go.
This is more recent.
Africanized honeybees. Ooh, look at that. Oh, look at all the pollen there. For those of you, you see this right here? He's not sick or anything. Those are his little pollen pockets. And from what I read about them, they'll take pollen out of your bird feeder if you gave your birds pollen. These are some aggressive bees. These honeybees are brown and fuzzy, so they look a lot like Italian honeybees. So it might be hard to figure out if your hive has been taken over. Yikes.
Well, except they're not north of North Carolina.
Right. They are not north of North Carolina. They made good honey, but you couldn't work them. They were too aggressive.
That's the Buckfast.
Yeah, I wonder if he was a conservative smoker. These honeybees were created. Africanized honeybees created, period. Go back instead of period. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, that's what
Africanized honeybees are actually a hybrid of Italian and African bees. This was done to increase honey production. Who did that?
Brazilian scientists.
Well, that's nice. What are Africanized honeybees like? This should go down one. Have proven to be highly aggressive and have been known to chase a person for a quarter mile if they feel threatened. Oh my. To date, there are over 1,000 reported cases of Africanized bees killing people and also other large animals like horses. Oh, Kelly, your horses. Oh my God. What? Oh, wow. He tried these, Kelly. What happened? He must have got a lot of honey. These honeybees do begin foraging younger than the others, and they are known for often producing more honey. In addition, they reproduce faster than other bees, so they need more food. Aggressive foragers or you really have to feed them a lot. To me, if they're aggressive foragers, and they have a hive situation where they're aggressive foragers, okay? And they produce a lot, then they have a mindset of they're going to go anywhere to get food. So if you're in a neighborhood or within a couple of miles, this is another thing. And get whatever they can, right? Or rob.
You don't want these bees.
You don't want these, yeah.
Okay. You don't want them.
For all beekeepers, it is recommended that you never have these bees. Okay. Beekeeping for beginners. After you have considered your environment and climate. Well,
Kelly says, oh no, not our horses.
Yes.
Yeah.
Buckfast, Italian, and Carniolan are usually the first three that are recommended to choose from. So that means all of you new beekeepers out there, if I've had people say, well, what's the best bee? What's the best bee? Go back and look at these three. Which one is best for your environment? I know we don't have any Russian bees, And I would like to try those if I can. Oh, look at the look. I'm glad you can't see this, folks. But I would like to try them because I'm encouraged. I don't care about the aggressiveness. I think they would be really cool to try. If this, here's my take for all you beekeepers out there and anybody else that has animals of any kind. I think this winter, unless they get this together, is going to wipe out a lot of stuff. I mean, B-Man's been down there. He was down today giving more sugar, wrapping more tar paper around. I mean, I'm looking into those heaters that they used in orange groves. I don't know what else to do. This is getting really bad. I mean, yes, they get in a cluster and they go around, but this is insane. So if there's another topic that you would like me to teach on, let me know. I will have one for next week. Trust me. And it'll be a little shorter because we should have our camo working by then. I have no idea what happened to it, but hey, I don't know. I'll have it figured out. And if you think of something else, let us know. And that's about it. We can sign off now, especially since we can't sit here and talk. I mean, we can talk, but they can't see us, and that's no fun. So, any more questions? Your son was upset that 2 hives died off. Oh, my goodness.
That's the Buckfast discussion.
Okay. I am going to clean this up a little, do stuff like that. Go through spell check. And then I'm going to, it'll be posted. And you can go back and you can further Google all of these bees and get some information. And I think this is a good start. I don't know what next week's topic is going to be. Probably something along the line of winterization or something along that line. What's wrong?
24 below in 2 days.
Is she serious?
Yeah.
Well, she's close to us.
Yeah, where we are, it's going to be. It sounds balmy compared to you, but as part of that polar vortex, it's going to be down to 2 or 3 degrees on Friday and Saturday. Many of the schools in our area are announcing they are going to be closed on Friday.
Yes, they are.
Because they don't want kids out there at the bus stop.
Yep. So this is, this weather, I don't know. And if it keeps going and going and going, it's going to wipe out a lot of things. So I'm going to put this back up to the beginning. And keep in mind, we just got 41 in Minnesota. Minus 41.
Whoa.
Bee Lady, y'all should write a book. Oh, girl. I am right. I'm in the process of writing, but it has nothing to do with bees. It's a cozy mystery or something. But Brenda, Mark's your husband, right? I hope I said that right. Because he was concerned about their bees. It was going down to 2 degrees. My heart goes out to people. 2 bad days coming, very cold. Yeah. To people who have bees and who normally don't winterize their bees, and this is hitting them. My heart goes out to them. I mean, what are you going to do now? You have to get to your bee yard and you got to scrounge around for honey and sugar and this and that. And, and even for those of us here, this is insane.
Or pack up your hives and drive to Florida.
Yes. And there are people in our area who do that. They take their hives to Florida. And Paul, yes, Paul.
Brenda's
how's
4
he
degrees
doing?
tonight.
How's he doing, Brenda? With the bees. And then we're going to sign off. He said he was worried because it was going to 2.
Yeah, Brenda, our wind chill here is going to be close to yours. Tomorrow, yeah, they're saying maybe minus 15.
So if you have any questions, like I said, email us and we'll probably take you down to the hive because I'm going to be going down there with the stethoscope. I'm just worried sick to death about our bees. I really am. I don't know. I don't know. I wanted to get 20 propane heaters and put them out there. I don't know what to do. If you have any ideas on heating them, other than what we've done, what's so funny?
I'm in the basement with a wood furnace.
No,
Oh,
but
Lord.
we have barns that, you know, if need be, that's what the Amish do. If need be, we may have to resort to that, you know, next year. Put them in the barns. I don't know. It's something to think about. You know, you invest all this in bees, and then you know, here comes winter, and it's gonna, you know, it's gonna wipe them out. It's terrible. We're gonna say good night. On in the basement. Oh, Brenda, you don't have bees yet. Gotcha. Okay, then it must be the other person. Okay, we're coming, and we'll have the camera fixed next week. What?
Yeah.
So I hope you enjoyed this, and like I said, my goal is to put up content so you have something to go back and look at. It's good to chit chat. We probably will be. I know I'll be going live in a few days because I'm going down there. I'm gonna go see what's going on with our bees, you know, and as long as I wrap up, I'll be just fine. Okay.
Okay.
There, cold weather and have a solution. Yeah. Take care, everybody.
Okay. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Let me see how I can get back here. So stop.